Hi, we're Tom and Tami Flowers here from Simpsonville. We've been married almost 37 years. I was born and raised in Pennsylvania, southeast Pennsylvania, about an hour west of Philadelphia. I moved to Florida in 1986 and I met Tom. We fell in love at first sight and we've been blessed ever since. As a young child, I was age 7 or 8. I don't remember exactly how old I was, but I remember the night like it happened last night. My mom would take us to a old-fashioned tent meeting every summer in Exton, Pennsylvania. And one night the evangelist was preaching on hell. And it really scared me because I knew my parents were going to heaven. And so I made the decision to walk that dirt aisle and ask Jesus into my heart. Um, I They took me aside into a tractor trailer that had chairs in it, and they sat me down and read me some Bible verses and just explained the plan of salvation to me. And that night I prayed and asked Jesus to come into my heart, and I knew from that moment on that I was going to go to heaven. I mean, my future was sealed. And I'm just thankful to be a member of this church. We love this church and our pastor and their families and just everyone here.
Okay, well, my story is a little bit different. I grew up in a household that didn't go to church, but my parents used to drop my sister and me off at church and then they would pick us up. Well, because of that, church was more like a social event to me. And by the time I got old enough to go to college, I kind of got away from it. And as I graduated from college, I moved to Sarasota, Florida, and worked in a pharmacy there. That was my profession, was a pharmacist. And I met a salesperson by the name of Ron that used to come by, and we became friends. He was a single man. He lived in Fort Lauderdale and used to tell me about his lifestyle, which was, you know, he was not saved at this point, and he enjoyed the lifestyle of a single guy among the girls, and you fill in the blanks there. But when he would come to town, we would go out to dinner, and carouse around whatever we did. But as time went by, I owned my own drugstore, and Ron by this time had gotten married and moved to the west coast of Florida. He called me one Saturday afternoon. He said, "Tom, what are you doing?" I said, "Well, I'm working at the store." He says, "I've got something really important to talk to you about. I'm coming by." And I said, "Of course, what is it?" He says, "Oh, it's too important to talk about on the phone." Said, I'll see you in a little while. So he comes to the store. He says, "Tom, I want you to promise me that you'll go somewhere with me tomorrow." And I said, "Sure, where are we going?" He says, "To church." And I just laughed. I said, "You want me to go to church?" He said, "Yes." I said, "My life has changed and I want you to be a part of it." So I said, "Okay." I went to church. It was a church in Bradenton, Florida, called Bible Baptist Church, and the pastor, he preached a message that sounded almost like he was preaching directly to me. And after the invitation call, I went forward and I got saved. That was December 7th, 1980. Now, sad to say, I didn't just become this great Christian. I went to church for a while, but as time went by, I kind of fell back into my old ways until I met Tami at the hospital in Venice, Florida. And as we developed our relationship, one thing she told me was that, I'd really like to go forward with you, but one of my important things is that I go to church and I believe in God. And if you're okay with that, then we can go on. But if not, then see you later, Charlie. And so I said, "Well, no, that's great. I would love to do that." And as our marriage grew, she helped me find God and to serve him and to have the attitude I have now. And I love what I do. I love teaching classes. I've been, I've just grown in the Lord over the years, and I'm so thankful for it because I know that the alternatives are not very good.
We are the flowers, and the good news has changed our lives.